Hello everyone and welcome back to another BTLO Replay. Hope you all are doing great. Today we are going to solve a medium level digital forensics lab which is Honey. But before we start, you know what to do. Be sure to follow us on X, LinkedIn or join the Discord server to keep in touch with the BTLO community. All the links are in the description box below. Now, let's look at the given scenario. One of our client had set up a honeypot and captured some activity. Let's have a look and see what we can find. And we do have a note, if a question has multiple answers, submit it in alphabetical order. Sweet. So alright, we are good to dive in and start doing the analysis. The evidence file which we need to analyze is present in this folder. On desktop we have folder name collection. Inside that we have another folder called sessions, and here now we have a file called analysis session 1. So if you double click on this, it will open redline and automatically the data will get loaded into it. Word of caution, for me it took roughly 10 to 15 minutes to fully get the data loaded and populated into it. I've already get it done so that it don't take a lot of time in the video. So with that, let's start to question 1. Question 1 says, what is the version of Redline installed? So for this, I'll just use simple tricks. I will go to control panel. Here, I will go to programs or uninstall a program. And in Redline, we do see we have the version 2.0.100. Let's type in 2.0.100 and it is wrong, and if you see the format is asking that the last part will be single digit. So let's try 2.0.1. Submit, and that is correct. Question 2. What is the MAC address for the primary network adapter of the machine? For this, let's go into system information, and over here we do see this particular field called primary network adapter MAC, and we have a value which is our answer. So let's copy this, copy, make sure if it is in the clipboard. Yep, it is. So go over here and paste and submit, and that is correct. Question 3. How many items are whitelisted in file system by default? For this, let's go into file system. It can take a bit of time to load it up. Now over here, once we are in the file system, you can see over here a small text being written like hide whitelisted items, and right next to it we have some icon. It says show MD5 whitelist configuration. If you click on this, so it says that current MD5 whitelist and total MD5s, like the entries which are present inside this file, is this number. Let's type it out, 676964. Submit, and it is correct. Question 4. What is the file hash for the process with the PID 7296? So for this, first let's go into process tab. Over here we will find which process is having the PID 7296. So let's type here 7296, and we want to search this in PID field, because if we search in every field it will take a lot of time. Let's search 7296. Let me click on that again, and yep, we have this PID and the file name is xagt.exe. So let's look if we have any option regarding the hash. Yes, we do have. If we just expand this and either double click on this or click on show details, you can see we have this file and we want the hash. So here we have the hash. Let's copy this. It is in the clipboard. Paste it here. And yep, this is correct as well. Question 5. What is the name of suspicious PowerShell script in the file system? So the question itself says file system. So we'll open file system tab over here, and this is what we see. Now the total number of entries is this much, which will, individually, if we start looking each of them, it will take a lot of time. So let's try a bit of, hit and trial method. Like let's try for PowerShell to see if there is something with PowerShell. Okay, there are a lot, which is 4220. And let's try something else. So we know the question is asking for suspicious PowerShell script, and the PowerShell script ends with .ps1. So let's search for .ps1 and hit search. Let's see if we have any file with ps1 extension. So we have one like this, but still we have a lot of entries, like 1563. Now to narrow down, what we can do is we can select only a few folders over here which are, or which could be used by attacker. For example, user directory or temp directory. So those are more likely to be attacker control initially. So let's check those. So I will check user, I will check temp, and let's search for .ps1. And right off the bat, we do see an entry called wmi backdoor.ps1, and the folder is c:/tmp. So we'll make note of that. But for this question, we'll submit the answer. The file name is wmi backdoor.ps1. My bad, ps1. Submit, and this is correct as well. Question 6. An attack may have been made to acquire users' password, hashes, etc. What is the location of executable? And the format says that we need to provide the file name as well. Okay, so we do see, like right now, a lot of files that are a bit suspicious to look. They are present in this particular folder, c:/temp. So let's see what are the files in temp folder, and I'll only find .exe because the question itself says that it is an executable, and we have two exes only. One of them is p.exe and another one is nbtscan.exe. We do not find any other file. So let's look into the timeline, because that gives us a more broader look into everything, and it can take a bit of time to load as well, because now we are loading everything instead of these categories. Okay, so now the data have been populated, and one thing which I did beforehand is I ticked box this option called show all. So instead of these selective options, we have everything being populated here, because we do not want anything to be left out. So here we'll search for the suspicious folder where we saw previously some files, and we'll search for this and see if there is any entry or any file got executed from it that is specifically for password or hash dumping. So we have 48 matches, which is not a lot. We can simply click on search icon again and again to move to the next search. Okay, after a few clicks, so here we are. We do see that inside the registry we have some entries in terms of execution, though it is not the one we are looking for. But interestingly, we do see a pattern. So we have a file which we also saw previously called p.exe, and it is executing a command called netuser on this particular remote IP or system, you can say, and the output of that is being saved in o2.txt. And this particular pattern, or the way arguments are passed, is from the another tool which attacker do use called psexec. So we see, from this we can infer that attacker has, instead of saving the file with the actual name, might have used different name, like we see p.exe instead of psexec.exe. So we'll continue our hunt and we'll specifically look for such files. All right, seems like we got the fish. So here we have a file called mim.exe, and the argument passed is sec your LSA logon passwords, and the output is getting saved in o.txt. And this definitely is the argument of Mimikatz file. And the file with the name with which this file is saved in the system is called mim.exe. So this should be the answer. So let's type this out: c:/tmp and mim.exe, and this is absolutely correct. Question number 7: which of the listed Windows services was used in the Honeybee campaign to establish persistence? Okay, we do have a few entries or notable points that it is asking for Windows services or persistence, and we do have a name which we can at least Google or we can look on the internet, which is Honeybee campaign. So let's go into Windows services. Okay, we have total 631. Now let's open the any browser of your choice and simply look for Honeybee campaign persistence. I do have already this populated, so I'll just show it here. So here we see there is a good blog published by McAfee regarding the Honeybee operation or Honeybee campaign, and it covers everything, like what are the IOCs, what is the flowchart or the background, what are files were used, how it was started. But we are currently interested in persistence. Okay, here we have stop the service, com.sys app, configure the service to auto start to set up the persistence. So these two lines gives us the information that this particular service could be the one we are looking for. The name is com.sys app, and I'll search if this is present in our system. Com.sys app, you can directly type in or you can scroll, and we do have, where it went, yep, this is the one, com.sys app, and it is, let me just expand this, using DLL host as its path, which seems to be a bit suspicious. So let's try this option, service name com.sys app, submit, and this is correct. Question number 8: based on the data and what you know so far, which 3 executables can you link to the attacker? And we do have to give the answer in alphabetical order. So this is no-brainer question, because we have the information which we saw in previous questions. So we know that there is a specific folder called c.temp or c:/temp, inside which we found a few executables. One of them was mim.exe, that was used for credential dumping or extracting the user password or hashes. Second one was p.exe, which was in reality psexec, which is getting used to execute remote commands on different servers. And another file was nbt scan.exe, which was also present in the same directory. So these were the 3 executables which is the question asking. The only thing which you have to do, put it in the alphabetical order. So this should be the correct answer as well as the order. Let's try this out. And yes, this is correct. Question 9: what scheduled task was created by the attacker? So here we do have a tab called task. If we click on this, let's see what options or what data do we have. So the data is here, and right off the bat we do see one entry called game over. The task name is game over, created by the user called Nexus. And this, I mean, just looking at the name seems to be a bit off. It seems suspicious. So you can just see all the details. Okay, and it was created on the specific date, account name was Nexus, and the path or the name is game over. So let's try this, because this does seem a bit off. If this does not, if it is not the correct answer, then we'll look around to find if there is any other entry which shows some indicators. It could be malicious command or similar name which looks suspicious. But right now let's try this. Game over, submit. Yeah, this is correct. Sweet. Question 10. One of the remote IPs in the port section is different than the others. Which one is it? So we have to go into ports section, or ports tab, and wait for the data to get populated. Okay, here it is. And the question in itself says that one of the IP is different than the others. Now what I can see right away is we have some remote port like entries like 0000, and the entries which are there in terms of address and port are these only. And if I ask the question out of these 5 which one is odd one out based upon the ports, so this is the one. We have port 80, rest we have port 443. So let's show details, copy the IP address, copy, yup, and let's paste it in. And this is correct. Question 11. What is the host name for the PTR record type? So the question is asking for the host name and for the PTR type, which gives us the hint that we have to look into DNS entries. Inside this, we have only one PTR record type. Let's click on this, show details, and the host is virustotal.com. Let's type it out, domain.tld, virustotal.com, and it is correct. Question number 12. How many times were nbtscan.exe and searchapp.exe executed? And this information is present in prefetch, because whenever a file is executed, a prefetch file is created which contains the information about it, like when was it last ran, or how many times did it got actually executed. So you can see we have different options: file name, path name, last run, when it was last run, how many times this was executed, and this is the one we are interested in. So let's search for nbt scan, see if we have anything for this. nbt scan, and the times executed is 0. Okay, and let's search for next file, which is searchapp.exe. Search for this, and for this it is executed 7 times, so the answer should be 0 and 7. 0, 7. Submit, and this is correct as well. Question number 13. What is the size of unknown partition type? So for partition, let's go into disk. Okay, we do have a expand option. Okay, here we have a tab or field called partitions, and here we have unknown type, and the size is 516 MB. Is it asking the, okay, just the size, cool. So 516, no need of unit, and this is correct. Question number 14. What version of Chrome is installed in the system? So for this, let's look at the tabs which are browser related. So we have browser URL history. Let's see if we have something for the, okay, we do have browser name and the browser version, and we do have Chrome, which is asked in the question, and the version is 91.0.4472.124. Let's type it out, or you can simply copy and paste. So 91.0.4472.124, 4472.124. Submit, and this is correct as well. Question number 15. What are the two file extensions in the downloads? Okay, so yep, we have download history option, and we do have only two files or two entries, and the file extensions are png and gif or gif, whatever you call it. png and gif, and this is correct. Now the last question, which is question number 16. How many events are associated to an unknown user? For this, let's look at the users. Okay, users field. Do we have any information? We do have a user called Ghosty. Okay, and no other for user. So let's go into timeline and search specifically for this user Ghosty, because this is something which stood out. So Ghosty, search for this. And we only have one mesh found, which is also for the last login. So not sure if this is correct or not, but let's just try it out. Yeah, as expected, this is wrong, and the question asking for the unknown user. Cool. Now here we do have some more options like fields, time, wrinkles, time crunches, users. Let's click on users, and yep, here we see a lot of user option, and one of them is unknown. So let's tick on this checkbox, show only events associated with selected user, and the selected user is unknown. Click on this, and we have total 9 entries for the unknown user, and this looks a bit promising. F9, submit. Yeah, this is it. This is correct. That was it for this lab. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video and learned something new. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe to never miss a video. In the meantime, remember to join us on Discord and tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. BST for BTLO Replay. Thanks everyone. See you next time.